Hello everyone and welcome to Motion Hub. In this tutorial I will make an introduction to the material editor and the materials inside Unreal Engine 5. So let's get started. So I'm here in the Epic Game Launcher and we need to make a new project. I will open the Unreal Engine 5.4 and we will start a new project. So we click on Games. And then we will start with a blank project. Here is the project location and I will call it Motion Hub Materials, and then you can add the starter content, and I will show you another way to add it later if you forgot to add the starter content, which is will include additional like textures and materials and some meshes that we can work with. So I will check the starter content and then we will create our project. So we are here in Unreal Engine 5.4. You can dismiss this new plugin and press update. So here at the bottom in the content drawer, just in case you forgot to check or to tick this starter content option, we can add it from here. You can press on add feature or content pack, and from here we go to contents and we press on starter content and then we add it to project. In my case I already have this project, this content starter content folder, and we have some materials, some particles, an HDRI. Let's create a new folder and I will right click here and click on new folder. Let's call it materials. Okay, let's make a new level and let's choose basic one, press create, and we have this map or this level. I will save the current level as materials tutorial. Hit save. And now we need something to visualize better the materials that we are going to create. And for this I will press on content drawer, go to settings and activate show engine contents. And now we have this folder. I will use the filter and let's search for static mesh, and then we need to select this one, SM Matte Preview Mesh, or you can just search on it from here on the engine folder, and I will drag it here and let's reset the value so we put it on the center, and then I will rotate it like this maybe. Let's disable the filter here and I will go to the material folder and let's create our first material, and I will right click here, choose material, and I will call it M for master material, I don't know, Motion Hub first matte, and we double click on the material. And then we can dock this window here, so we can it's better to dock it in the window like that. So as you can see here, this is the material graph. This is where we create all our materials, and this is our material. We have the base color, metallic, specular, roughness, and so on. And here this is the preview of the material that we will create, and you can change from here the lit mode, where you don't want to see the lights that is affecting the materials. There is here wireframe, so let's keep it as lead for now. And let's start with the base color. In Unreal Engine 5 we can directly click on this icon and choose any other color. Let's make it, for example, blue. Or we can, I will show you the constant vector. If you right click here and any empty space, we can have all the nodes that we can add to our material. And for now I will open the constant and let's add constant 3 vector. Okay, and let's add the constant one node, constant 2 vector, and constant 3 vector. Okay, so all these nodes I will explain to you every single constant. Let's start with this one, which is the constant 3 vector. And basically this is, if you go here to the detail panel, and the constant, it's a color. If you click here you can change to any color. And as you can see, we have here the RGB color, and we can, like, if you want to trade, we can set it the R to 1 and the green channel to 0 and the blue one to 0. And now we have the red color. In order to see it in our material, we need to attach this pin to connect the pin to the base color, and now it will become red. So now you can choose any material and it will change directly. Now let's talk about the constant 1 vector, which is this one, the constant, and this has only one value if you see in the details panel, and it goes from 0 to 1. Okay, so in order to see it, we cannot attach it to the base color because it will not give us the color. It will give us a value between 0, which is black, and 1. Okay, so I will put back the color. Let's make it blue. And the constant vector works for the metallic, specular, roughness, and anisotropy emissive color. So let's talk about the metallic. In Unreal Engine, the metallic is either 0, no metallic material, or 1. So we can change it from here. Let's put 1, and now we have a metallic material. Or we can connect this constant vector to the metallic, and we can change it here from the details. And so if it's non-metallic material, so the value should be 0, or it's metallic, it should be 1. We cannot put like 0.5. Okay, so let's move to the other option, and I will put this here. We will talk about them later. And again, I will right click, add a constant vector, and I will attach this one to specular. For example, for the specular, if I set it to 0.1, this highlight on the material, let's set it to 1. Okay, we don't use the specular so much. We use either the roughness. Okay, so I don't know, let's go to the roughness. And there is another way to add the constant vector, which is here. You can right click and promote to parameter, and this will give us one constant vector. It's a parameter that we can change later, and we will talk about the material instance later. So for the roughness, if it's 0, it's very reflective. It's 100% reflective. If we change the roughness to 1, it's not reflective anymore. Let's say it's a wood material or something. we can change it to 1 or let's say 0.6, something like that, because there is no material that is not reflective at all. At least it should be 0.8 or 0.6. And if we want to be if you want the material to be very reflective, we can set it to 0 or 0.2, something like that. And now we can see the specular better. So let's change the specular to 0.5 and let's wait for it. Yeah, as you can see, this is the specular in the material. Now let's press save, and we will apply the material to our object. Okay, so I will drag this here into the static mesh, or we can select the material here and go to the elements here in the materials. Actually, this static mesh or this object have 3 materials. We have element 0, element 1, element 3. So if you click on this arrow, it will add this material to that element 0 in the materials. And since we have 3 materials, we can add them to the 3 parts like this, or simply you can drag the material. Let's make another one. I will duplicate this material with Ctrl D and double click on it, and I will change it to red, for example. Press save, and we will drag it here, and it will affect this part. Okay, let's duplicate the material and make this one, I don't know, white. Save, and then we will attach it, add it to this Unreal Engine logo. Let's get back to our first material, and we will keep working on this material, the blue one. So we have something called the emissive color, and the emissive color, we need to add a color, for example, and when we say we add a color in Unreal Engine, it means we need to add constant 3 vector, which stand for the RGB thing, and then we double click, let's say it's a yellow color, and then we will add it to emissive color, and now we have an emissive material. Okay, so in order to see it better here, we need to multiply this color by something, and for that we will use the constant vector, and we need to multiply it. So you can drag this pin and search for multiply, or just make it add a star, and then we have the multiply. I will add the constant to the B and the material to the A, and then we connect the result to the emissive color. And for now it's 0, it's not emissive, and if we set it to 5, for example, it will be emissive. Let's set it to 50, and now we have very bright material. So let's save and see the result, and now it's emissive material. I will press on Ctrl L and set it to like night scene, and as you can see, it's very bright. Okay, Ctrl Z. Now let's remove this emissive color. Now let's add a texture to our material, an image, and for that I will search for texture, which is texture sample, and from here in the details panel we can, if you press on this node, you can find all the textures on your project. Or there is a better way. If we go to content browser, and in the content I will search for texture, and now we can see our textures. You can go to settings here, thumbnail size, and you can make it huge or large or medium or tiny. And I don't know, we can start with this T-brick layout, and I will drag it here. And now we have a texture sample with T-brick selected, and we will attach the RGB pin to the base color. I will delete this constant, and now as you can see we have the texture applied. Let's delete the metallic pin and the specular one, and the roundness let's make it 0.8 maybe. Press save, and now we have our material applied. And for the wall texture, it's better to try it on an actual wall, and for that I will go to the content drawer, and in the starter content let's disable this filter architecture, and let's bring this wall. I press E, rotate it 90 degrees, and I will place it there. And now I will go to material and apply our first material to the wall. Okay, now let's get back to the material graph, and what we need to do, we need to see how we can change the tiling and the size of this texture. In order to do that, we have here something called UVs, and these are the UVs coordinate. We need to add something called texture coordinate, and this texture coordinate, let me show you something. Here you can change the preview of the material to object like this, to a plane or to cube. And for our example here, it's better to see it, to preview it on the cube primitive. And if we select the texture coordinates, and in the details there is U tiling and the vertical tiling. If we change this to 5 for example, and the V tiling to 5, as you can see it will be more smaller. Let's make this one, and as you can see the tiling here is changing in the U, and the tiling on the V it's 1. If we want to make it bigger, we can set it to 0.1 and the V tiling to 0.1, and as you can see here I will press save, and now we have a bigger wall. Okay, now let's talk about something called material instance. And in a real engine, in order to see the result, we need to press every time in the save, and then we see let me show you. For example, here I'm adjusting the U tiling and the V tiling. It's updated here in the preview, but we can't see it here. In order to see it here in real time, we need to do something called the material instance. Okay, I will close this. Let's right click on the master material, and then we will choose create material instance. And now let's call this one MI for material instance. Let's call it wall. If we double click on it, now we have this window. This is the material. It's different than the master material, which is this one. Okay, here we have the material graph and everything. Here we only have the preview and some setting. For now we only have the roughness, and I will explain this. Let's get back to the master material, and I will remove this one and save it. Now as you can see, we don't have any option to change in the material. From here we only have the parent, which is the master material. Now we will make some parameters for our material, and let's start by the texture sample. I will select it, right click and convert it to parameter, and here we can change it to texture, and then we can add a constant vector, for example, and right click here, convert to parameter, and I will call it metallic and connect it here. Now if I save, and now we have these parameters, we have the metallic and we have the texture. Now let's drag the material instance here, and as you can see, if I set this one to 1, it will, okay, sorry, we need to assign the material instance to the wall in order to see it. So now if you press 0 or 1, we can see the preview right away. From here in the texture, you can change it to any other texture and it will change. Now we have the problem of the tiling, and we can change it from here, but there is a better way to change it with the material instance. I will dock this one there, and now we will add some parameters to the texture coordinate. Let's start with one constant vector, and I will press 1 in the keyboard, or it's the same as adding this constant, or just search for constant, and we will multiply the coordinate by this value, and for that I will drag this pin and add a multiply, and I will connect this value here, and we need to convert it to parameter in order to change it in our material instance. So let's call this one tiling, and I will connect this to UV and save. Now let's see how it's affecting. So for the tiling, it's set to 0 now, and we can set it to 1, and which will lets me change back the texture coordinate default value to 1 1. Save. So the tiling, if I set it to 2, as you can see, it's multiplied by 2, 3, and so on. Now we want to make some parameters to change the U tiling and the V tiling in a separate way. And to do that, let me dock this here, and I will come back here. Now we will duplicate this parameter, Ctrl D, and I will call this one U tiling and V tiling, and we have to constant. In order to connect them to multiply, we need to add a node called append vector, and we will add this here, and the V tiling to the B, and then we connect it to the B here. Set save, and we can set the default value here to 1, and the default value for the V tiling to 1 also. And now we have this wall again. Let's try it. So this is the U tiling, as you can see, and we can change the V tiling. Okay, now what if we want to modify the position of the texture? Now we want to offset, to add to make some parameters to offset our texture, and for that let's duplicate this to a constant vector, and let's duplicate the append vector. Let's connect this one here and this one here, and let's call this one offset X, and this one offset y, and then and then I will add another node, which is add, and we will connect the append to the B, and we connect this to UV. Okay, hit save. Let's make it here, and now we can offset the texture in X and Y. Okay, let's bring back the tiling to 1. Instead of this 4 constant, we can delete them, and then we press 4 in the keyboard, or here and the constant for vector, and now we have 4 pins. So let's right click and convert it to parameter, and then I will call it tiling. And let's go here on the details panel, and for the channel names I will call this one U tiling and V tiling, and then we have offset X and offset Y, and let's make this one 1, offset 1 to 0, and again we will connect the U tiling A, B, A and B, and we will save. As you can see, it's the same thing. We have this tiling, and we can adjust the UV and the offset. Okay. Now what if we want to add another parameter to rotate our texture? And for that, what we can do, I will bring here, and by the way, you can select all these nodes and press C like commands, and we can call this one, for example, tiling function. And also you can change this color, something like this. So this is in order to make it clear for you, you know. So it's kind of make it nice to see and clear. Okay, we don't need this material, this metallic option. I will hit save. Now we want to add the rotation function. Okay, from this append I will drag and add a divide, and I will connect it to another add node and connect it to the rotation center. And from this offset, let's connect it to the B in this add. I hope this is clear for you. Let me make it bigger. So what I did is this append, which is connected to this multiply, I connected to the divide, and then I added an add the A, and from this append I will add it to the B, and this is for our rotation center. Now we need to add something for the rotation angle, and for this I will add a constant vector with press 1, change it to convert it to parameter, and we will call it rotation angle, and we connect it here. And now let's try it, and now let's press apply, save, and again I will go back to our scene, and here we have the rotation angle, and we can rotate our texture. Okay, so now we achieved we did the tiling function for our texture UVs. Okay, now let's talk about something else. I will close both materials, save, and save everything. Let's create a new material and right click, press material, like I don't know, material 2 maybe, and we will double click here, dock it to the window, and let's make a constant 3 vector by pressing 3, connect it to the base color, change the color to gray, maybe blue. Okay, now we will talk about the material itself, the material domain. So if you click here or anywhere in this material graph, you will have in the details some parameters related to our material. And let's start with the material domain. From here we have surface, different decal, light function, volume, etc. So most of the time you will work with surface, but at some point if you want to make like a decals or some light function, we need to change this, or if it's post-process material, let's keep it in the surface. Here there is an important one, which is the blending mode or the blend mode, and now it's opaque. Okay, so I want to show you some options here, and we will talk about the transparency. Okay, so now as you can see, the opacity is disabled and the opacity mask. So in order to activate them, we need to change this option, the blend mode, to masked or to translucent. And now we have our opacity activated and set to 1. So if we change it to 0.1, you can see it's very transparent. Okay, so again, let's right click here, promote to parameter, and we call this opacity, and let's save. If we open the so let's bring our material instance, the opacity is set to 0, so we can make it 1 for 0 transparency, and you can set it to 0.5. So this is this will be activated with the translucent blending mode. Okay, now let's try the masked blending mode, and for this I will add a texture. Let's add it right away from the content browser, and I will search here for textures. Let me see. Actually we can use this one, and I will drag it here, and if we double click here on the texture, we can see here we have the RGB channel. There is no A, which stands for alpha, so RGB, and what we need is something with white and black. So if it's black, it means it's transparent. If it's white, it means no transparency. So we will take this green channel, and from here I will attach the green channel to opacity mask. And as you can see here, this channel, the black and white, the 0 to 1, is now masked. Okay, so if you have an image with alpha, let's add the PNG, for example. So we will add it to our material, and we can connect this one to the base color, and as you can see it's here. And now we want to see the alpha channel. If we double click here and now it's activated the A, this stands for the alpha. And now from the texture we can connect the alpha channel to the opacity mask, and now we have our logo with the transparency. Okay, and as you can see here, our logo is transparent. All right, let me show you another option. So as I say, that you have translucent. We use this for the glass materials and for, you know, the transparent material, the masked to mask something. And we have additive, modulate, and some advanced options that we can use in the materials. Let's put it back to opaque. And here we have the shading model, which is there is like default lit and unlit, and there is some option here if you are making like a hair or cloth or eye or whatever. So most of the time we use the default lit, but in some cases we like if you want to make an emissive color, we set this one to unlit, and now as you can see the basic color is disabled. Everything is disabled except the emissive color and word position offset and the pixel depth offset. And as we said before, we can add this material and multiply it by something, let's say 50, and add it to the emissive color, and now we have an emissive color. Now let's talk about the Lerp node, and I will set the blending mode to opaque and default lit. So we have our options here, and let's delete these nodes, delete this also, and we will add 3 constant vector 2 times with 3 on the keyboard, and let's set this color to yellow and this color to orange, for example. I will add a Lerp mode, will stand for linear interpolate. Okay, and now we can connect A and the red one or the orange to B, and then connect it to the base color. Now we have a mix between so if the alpha is set to 0.5, which means we have 50-50 of these materials. So if we set it to 0, we will take the yellow only. If we set it to 1, it will be orange. Okay, so the useful thing is the alpha. Okay, alpha channel. So again, if I bring the Unreal Engine logo and take the alpha and put it here, what we will get the outside, the alpha channel set to yellow, and the logo set to orange. All right, what we can do also, we can add this texture. Let me see, for example this one, and from this I will take let me see, no, yeah, I will take the green channel and connect it to the alpha, and now we have this honeycomb material. Okay, now let's talk about PBR materials, and now let's talk about PBR materials, which stand for physically based rendering material. And in case you have some texture from Substance Painter or any other software, we can connect them to the base color, metallic, and roughness. So let's do something real quick. I will delete everything here, and let me bring some texture, and we have here I downloaded the Megascan material from Quixel. And how you can download this, you can press on add Quixel content, and it will be migrated to Fab soon, but for now we can still use the Quixel bridge. And you can go to the surface and you find any material here, and then you can select this one and download, and then you can add it to your scene. And you have the ready material here, material instance with the texture, but for now we need to take the textures only. I will drag them to the material, and this one will be the base color, okay, and this one is the normal channel, so we connect it to the normal. Now let's connect the ambient occlusion, roughness, specular, and these are packed in this texture. If we press here again in the RGBI, there is different textures, they are packed together. So here the R we connect the red channel to the ambient occlusion, the B channel, the blue channel to the metallic, and the green one to the roughness. And now we have this material. Let's hit save, and we can assign it to this one, and now we have our texture. Okay, let's delete this wall for now. Now there is one thing, if we want to add the styling function or the texture coordinate for the UVs, let's get back here. Again, as we said, you can right click and add the texture coordinate, and you can connect it here. But if you have some BPR material, some BPR textures, you need to connect the same texture coordinate to all the texture, and they should have the same parameters. You cannot like adjust only the base color. Okay, so if you, in order to get the right material, you need to connect them like this. Okay, let's just try to make it 0.1 and save, and now everything is changed together, the base color and the roughness map and the metallic. All right, now what if I want to colorize this texture, the base color? Again, what you can do, you can multiply this one, connect it to the base color, and add one constant vector. Let's add the 3 constant vector and connect it to B. So now, as you can see, it became black. If you change it to red, for example, it will be red. Okay, so just in case you need to do this. So that's it for today. I hope this tutorial was useful for you as a beginner course for the material in Unreal Engine. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and let me know in the comments if you need to see any other tutorials in Unreal Engine, Blender, Cinema 4D, or even After Effects or Substance Painter, and I will be sure to make a tutorial for you. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.